Futures and options on futures trading involve substantial risk and is not a suitable investment for all types of investors. Past results are not necessarily indicative of future results. When I use the word I in this video, it refers to what I teach in my charting course or what I author in my twice daily oral and written updates. Prices shown on charts and quote boards are in real time and take into account all known activity up to this point in time. And if you'd like to read more of this disclaimer, simply hit the pause key on your video player.
Good day, all. Ira Epstein of Linn & Associates, welcoming you all back from Thanksgiving weekend. And here we are now on Monday, the 26th of November, 2018, with your metals market update. You know, in looking at the market, I was disappointed this morning when I came in and saw that the gold did not even bother to react to Russia seizing 3 Ukrainian ships, holding 24 people captives, moves the ships away, goes to the UN, and hey, this is how it is. What are you going to do about it? The president of the Ukraine wanted to declare martial law. He wanted it for 2 months because he feels there's an invasion coming. I doubt that that's the case, but you don't know. You know, the fact that Russia grabbed 3 ships isn't the smartest thing in the world. It's getting very, very aggressive. We have a G20 meeting coming up. You think they're not going to be talking about this there? They will. So the gold ends up today pretty much unchanged. In fact, most of the metals ended up very quiet. The dollar got a bid as foreign currencies as a group fell back on that. Energy markets, finally a bounce in the crude and some of the products, whereas nat gas still down. In fact, it did a nice job of recovery. It got down from where it's at right now, nearly 30 cents lower on the day. That was quite a break. When you take a look at a weekly area chart of closes, what do you see on the chart? Well, first thing I see is an up thrust. The market's going from 1161.40 to 1233.30, corrected on a closing basis. That's what this is about, to 1207.20, and it's been able to recover from there about $15 and just sort of drifting, if you will. When we take a look at a daily chart, the first thing that I looked at was how the ranges are starting to narrow in. You can almost draw a downslope line there and try an upslope. The market is just drifting here, looking for whatever's going to be the next event. If you're bearish, the event happens if you take out 1226.20. As on this pattern, if the market didn't get right up and sharply higher, you'd have lower highs, lower lows. If you're bullish, you want to get 1236.70 taken out and not take out 1226.20 to keep the pattern of higher lows, higher highs in play. Smart thing to do is look and see where we're at on the moving averages. Right now, the 18-day average of closes is 1227.10. I consider the 18-day average the meat of a chart, the neutral point on it. When the market is over it, it has an upside bias, under it, a bearish bias. The 100-day average happens to be right by it. The market, since it was back here, hasn't really challenged that 100-day. If it gets to 1226.20, there is support at 1224, the 100-day average. The problem would be you'd have the lower highs, lower lows most likely. That's the negative. If the market closed under 1224, the number you put into play could be the lower Bollinger Band. Bollinger Bands are an algorithm designed to keep the market trading within them, but they also offer, when you look at them, a support and a resistance point on a chart that you might not get on other techniques. When I look at momentum on the market, we have stalled out. We're just going flat here. I think this market's getting ready for a move. The question obviously now is, which way is that going to come? When I go to GLD, which is the popular ETF, I see the momentum in this market still higher, but any reading over 70 is overbought. That's concerning. When I look at today's action, you had a lower low day. So unlike the gold chart, where if you get under this 1226.20, you can get lower highs, lower lows, you cannot get that out of this chart. So the support's a little better at the 115.45 down to 114.80. You'd really have to take out 114.56 to break the pattern of higher lows, higher highs. But even taking that out would not throw out a bear signal. So a little more support out of that. When we come over to GDX, which is the gold miners, the market sank back today to 1924. Now, It's not really great action today because the stock market as a whole, all the indices are higher. The mining stocks obviously not doing well. But what do we see on the chart? One of the things I was telling you last week was the resistance is between the 100-day average in green to the upper Bollinger Band, got there, fell back, went to the 18-day average, still sitting here. The way that the market's set up, because today's low, and let me show you this. This was the low on Friday. This is today. I have to move this arrow that I had done earlier this morning all the way back here. So my lows are really this low to this low. This is erroneous. That's wrong. It's got to move over here. You wouldn't want to take out 1897. That would destroy this pattern. What is at work is the resistance of the 100-day average in the upper Bollinger Band and support of the 18-day average. Take out 1897. You got to go back to the drawing board. The gold-silver ratio is not favoring the other metals. It continues to climb to the upside. You generally, if you're going to get a base out of these markets, it comes with this ratio losing. You're not getting it. Silver markets in a downtrend, lower highs. But I can also make an argument that you stalled it because you got higher lows right now. Do you see that? So if you take out 1428.50, then I'm back into fully committed to the bear camp, thinking that the 1402 level is going to kick in, as I would assume momentum will turn down. Therefore, if you're bullish, that's what you don't want to see. If you're a bear, I would imagine they want to press that number to see what's underneath the market. In the copper market, we have played for a week, maybe longer than that, at this 100-day average of closes down to the 18-day. You just keep, you got up one time to the upper Bollinger Band and then challenge all the way through. Close under 275.75, and that puts you under the 18-day average with momentum down and the trend down. That would be the bear signal on the market. And I'm the first to again say, how do you play this going into the G20 meeting? Because copper will be impacted by what is said between the U.S. and China. China being the largest user of copper. If the economies of the world were to get better with the trade war coming off, that's one thing. If it looks bleak, this is a market that can feel the pain. In the platinum market, momentum flattened out on you. You can see that. The trend is down though. Lower highs, lower lows. We had a bounce today. A bounce doesn't turn the trend. The pattern is still down. Should you take out 856.90, you'd have a pattern of a lower low and a higher high. In other words, I can't get a bullish signal, but take out 644.70 and you get another bearish signal as long as you don't take that high out, which could mean that the market's ready to challenge those lower lows if that's going to be a downside target. I thought I just did copper for you. I don't know what happened that came back. That's platinum. I'm reading wrong. I'd be looking there. Now, I think I'm hitting the wrong button. There we go. Here's the DC dollar index. I think I got one of the charts wrong. I redid the March contracts today. Higher lows, higher highs in the dollar. Bullish unless you take out this break low right here of Friday. Now that was an outside day up also at 96.29.5. If it's not broken by tomorrow, all it means is that the market's staying in an uptrend until that number's taken out with support at 96.56. Guess what the upside target looks like? The 97.38 upper Bollinger Band. So, interesting chart. I'll work on that sequence that I have. You know, if you don't understand these technical indicators, a good guide to it is our volumes 1 of 2 called Technical Indicators. You can get these by giving us a call, going to our website. They're really a PDF that we've put together for you. And in the PDF, what basically happens, it's full of pictures, it gives you explanations as to Fibonacci, Gann, Elliott wave, moving averages, stochastic, different types of charts, patterns on the charts. I've carried this, by the way, much greater into something you're going to see this week as well. And this will be in there, but it's our new futures trading kit. It's not out yet. We'll advertise it later this week. You can always click up here, by the way, to get to the page with our free offering. Sign up for this and we'll get it in your hands. I'm Ira Epstein. Look for an announcement possibly as early as tomorrow on me doing a live webinar this week. It's time for one. I'm just looking for when I'm going to do it. You have a good day. Talk to you later.